I'm delighted to say I've got Alicia Hussey with me again, and we'll be talking about removing trauma from you if your questions come in and there's anything Alicia can help you with, which is amazing of her to offer. But just to start with this, so we did a couple of weeks ago, we did a talk like this, and it was just incredible the amount of questions that come in, and your pendulum was going mad. So yeah, I thought,
Welcome back to my pendulum. She's right
oh,
here. She's ready to serve.
amazing, amazing. Yeah, it was really wonderful and it just flowed. So yeah, I just wanted to say though, yesterday was the third week of I had a 3-week course about self-love, really, self-love, happiness and Ho'oponopono. And there was a situation last night with one of the ladies when we went into the breakout room. So not to give anything away as such personally, but she was saying what she went through with Ho'oponopono. You're 100% responsible for everything in your reality because you create your own reality. And so you've got to visualize the reality that you'd like. We know all of that. So, but she said that what she came into when she was born was not a reality that anyone. So when we say we choose our reality, so before we come to Earth, we have a soul contract. And so that's a big one, isn't it?
It
And
certainly is.
what she came into was quite horrible. And when you hear things like that, I straight away, I'm just thinking, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you and thank you. And, clearing that for me, clearing that for her.
Mhm.
But she would wonder why a young child would come into a reality like that. It
Mhm.
wasn't good at all. And like we said as well, one thing that helped her was that we've been everything in all our lifetimes. So, if someone's being not very nice to you now, it could be that in another lifetime, not that particular person, but that same scenario could have been you doing the same to that person. Um, it sort of helps you understand how these bad things can happen, I guess. Um, I don't know if that's still relative at this time. Do you think, I don't know what you're thinking about that, but we've been saying you come through with a soul contract and you know what sort of things you're going to go through in this lifetime for your growth. But as a young child, you would choose to come through to some really not good adult role models. And so you would choose to do that as a young child. But obviously she can help children, she can help people now because of what she's been through, but she
Yes.
just couldn't understand. And if we knew what we were coming into, I suppose that could help. But if you also know that over the many lifetimes that we've had, if you believe in reincarnation, which I do, and that we've had probably thousands of lifetimes, then we have been everything.
Agreed. 100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
So she said that did help her a bit in just thinking that, that she could have been the perpetrator in
Yes.
another lifetime. It, doesn't happen, but it sort of eases that. She's okay now, like, but still trying to clear that trauma.
Yes.
Um, yes.
Yeah. So the trauma still lives. Um, but from all of the work that I have done in the last, what, 7, 8 years since I had my awakening, I have come to understand exactly what you just described, that we do choose. We do choose to come in here. And specifically, a lot has been said about what we're going through right now at this time. Some call it ascension, awakening, whatever you want to call it. But if there was any lifetime that we would need to sort out
Mm,
some of those karmic contracts, some of those debts, some of those, um, forgivenesses that we need to give to ourselves or to others,
yeah.
this would be the lifetime.
Yes.
So those of us who experience, and they always say this, although I'd like to kind of rewrite the script on that, that anyone who is sort of a light worker or a healer of any kind, or someone who's on this ascension journey or awakening journey has has had an exceptionally traumatic pocket or pockets of their life. That's sort of kind of the general rule, I think. And I'd like to rewrite that moving forward. I just tend to do that actually.
Oh,
Um,
brilliant.
so I don't believe that moving forward, and it's been said, and my team, my guides have confirmed it, that we are moving out of this karmic cycle. And what we're
Yes.
doing is we're pulling apart all of the webs, the control mechanisms, the karmic cycles that
Bricks.
have kept us stuck right there. So, and so many people will say, well, if there's a God, why would he allow this to happen? And so having said that, in, those of us who have come onto the other side of challenging times, whether it was your childhood, whether it was your teens, whether I, for one, have worked with so many people that would not be where they are had they not journeyed through that, which means they need to be ready for this time,
Yes.
right? And
And
this is
also, yeah, I was just thinking, and also you can look back on your life and you can see almost why everything has had to happen to get you to where you are today, ready for whatever. The other thing I did want to just say to you is, I'm reading a lot of people, especially light workers, starseeds, all those posts around light workers, and this is the time we've been waiting for, shine your light, keep your vibration high. But at the same time, you're still seeing all these posts saying something big's going to happen, be prepared, which can be quite concerning. And also, you can still be seeing the sort of things that, are still causing a lot of turbulence. And how does that impact our psyche?
terribly.
It's got to be, hasn't it?
Terribly. It's just more of the same. It's more of the fear. It's more of the same. Now, I know many of those who are talking about the terrible or something eventually
Or the
happening.
big, yeah,
Yeah, they're not. I know most of them are not trying to feed the fear. I know they're legitimately. I believe that they're legitimately trying to, wake people.
Paris.
Yeah, wake people up or prepare us. Um, and this is why I often say, and I think all you would agree, the most important truth is your own. And so right now, and I'll do it again today before we start so that I can get everybody who's going to come in and ask some questions to also check with their own truth.
Hmm.
Because at the end of the day, we are at a time right now where it is of utmost importance to understand how to connect to your own intuition and understand your own truth. Because then you
Yes.
can truth test anything.
And that's what so many say, go within, trust yourself. And yet for the longest time, I used to go without and look for a truth elsewhere,
Well,
look,
and we all
hope,
do it. We
yeah,
all do.
hope someone else has got the answer for me. I wasn't looking within.
Right. We all
But trusting your gut instinct now is huge for me. I really do think about how do I feel about that and listen to how I feel about something.
Yeah, as do I. And it's the more practice you have, so I really truly believe that your audience, everyone really right now should be practicing. We don't even have to call it a spiritual practice. You can call it your intuition. You can call it your connection to God. You can call it your connection to universe. You can call it to your higher self, your soul. It doesn't matter. But once you start to practice and allow, the different modalities of checking your truth to really prove to you that you are fully guided and that these, universal laws that everyone always we all talk about are actually true, and that there is divine timing for everything, and that there is trauma stored in your body that's causing a certain reaction that if you cleared it, you wouldn't repeat the cycle again, or those fearful sort of messages happening on, social media about a big event is that, may come to pass. I mean, the big one that I always remember is, you remember the year 2000 when everybody was panicking about the clocks and the technology and everything in 1990?
Absolutely.
Do you remember that?
And nothing,
Nothing and
nothing.
nothing. And you know what happens, and I think most of your audience knows this, and I know you know this, but when we actually put it out there, we are actually causing the effect.
Exactly. Absolutely. We are creating that by even thinking it, by saying it. And obviously, I've said it here, but I wanted to know what you thought about how is it impact. Even though we know what we know, if you keep reading something like that, it must on some level be impacting us.
Yeah.
I could read it and think, oh, I must keep my vibration high. But there's got to be something that's going into your cells. And then you have to reassure, yourself.
And rewrite the words I've been using in the last 2 weeks constantly is rewrite. I'm going to rewrite that thought. I'm going to rewrite. I've got a little tickle in my throat today. There's been a little bit of cold activity. I'm not claiming it in my
Oh,
home,
don't claim it. Don't.
this week, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I started to the symptoms of said cold started to appear in my throat. And so this morning I got up and I said, I rewrote that. I said, no, I said, I do not consent. I am not going to, you know, receive this same sickness.
yeah,
I command that it be dissolved and removed from my body. And I've learned to do that. And you know what? The me 8 years ago would have probably called bullshit on this.
yeah. Oh,
So I know
absolutely.
there's some people in your audience that are going, oh, sure, okay, it's that easy.
Yeah.
And you know what? Maybe the cold symptom is more about your body asking you to rest as opposed to getting something, right?
Hmm, hmm.
And you can tune in on that.
Absolutely.
You can ask your higher intuition, does my body need to rest right now? Is that why these symptoms are happening? Or is there conflict in my house that my body's trying to tell me?
So it's a clearing as well. It is a clearing for you.
Yes,
Um, that you need to, yeah, it's like a cleansing,
it's a cleanse.
so that
Yeah.
needs to. So I'm going to just read this conversation that I had the other day when I went shopping. So my conversation this morning at a till with a very nice lady. How are you today? Very well, thank you. How are you? Well, I've got the sniffles, but my husband is full of it, so inevitably I will get it. My reply, you cannot catch anything from anyone else. It is just that we've been brought up to believe that we will. So we instruct our body that it's going to get a said cold or whatever. A virus has never been actually proven to exist. Never been proven to exist. So we've never been told that, have we? A virus, there is no such thing. It's never been
You
proven.
can't catch it. You can't, and if you
And you
say I'm going
can't
to
catch
catch
it.
it, you're
Her
actually saying,
reply then was, well, so after me saying that, she said, well, my daughter works in a school, which is a breeding ground for everything, and I am here, so we can't escape it, meaning she was in the shop. So we can't escape what's going around. And so then I just smiled because I believed for years and years that I could catch something from someone else. And I brought my children up to believe that. But luckily, I do German new medicine, and that's helped me understand way more that we just instruct our bodies to get ill or instruct, unconsciously because we believe we're going to.
yes, or maybe we need a rest and we're not taking it,
Yeah, yeah.
or there are emotions, stuck emotions. Oh my goodness, I'm doing a whole masterclass on it tomorrow. I could talk on stuck emotions for a year. I mean, it's the stuck emotions that are actually our bodies are actually reacting to. And
What are you doing
also,
tomorrow? Oh, sorry. Yeah.
the stuck emotions are causing our reaction to the fear or the information being fed to us from the outside world. Our emotions are going to latch on our stuck emotions, so if we carry a lot of fear, which can come from generational fear, it can ancestor fear, it can come from past lives, it lives in your plasma, it lives in your your biofield, in your auric field, and in your cells, in your cells. So, if you're not working constantly on, relearning, like you relearned about catching a virus, if you're not
Mhm.
relearning constantly about what your emotions are trying to tell you, what your body's trying to tell you, what your relationships are trying to tell you, what the conflicts in your life are trying to tell you, every
Oh,
single
exactly.
time,
Everything.
it's a map.
Everything.
It's a
Yes.
map. It's literally a map. It's your soul saying, your higher self saying, okay, Alicia, you need to look at this now. we've unraveled, a lot of so I work with a lot of people who say to me once they work with me or do my program or do one of my group programs, that the result is they don't have the same fear as they used to.
Hmm.
But the reason why is because they are empowered, because they know they can check themselves. Never listen to a me or a you or anybody else. You need to learn. We all need to learn how to check in and tune into our own truth. So whether that's a sickness or what's happening to you or information coming from the outside, this is what we have to rescript, relearn.
Absolutely,
And
yes.
even for us, so I mean, we live this every single day. Like again, if someone had told me these things 7 years, 8 years ago, I would have said, oh, okay, sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, literally for years. Yeah, absolutely. The beliefs that we've been brought up with by watching the tell lie vision, which is honestly, when it all comes out, what we've been fed for so many years, and people will still watch the news tonight and believe what they're watching.
Mhm.
And
So
what
it's
and
the
what
same thing. So I want to bring it back to the fear that's coming from more of like, say, the spiritual community or the light worker
mm,
community or people, there's one thing that I have learned that's really important for, I think, everybody to integrate into their own life. If it feels like fear or anger, it's not the light. That
yes,
could even mean your own thoughts,
yes, yes.
because your
Because
thoughts
we
can,
got a shadow aspect of us,
yeah,
which actually brings us into the fact that you're going to do a shadow evening for us for Conscious Cafe
very
about
excited.
our shadow,
Yes.
which will be really good.
What's the date on that one? April
I'll find that. Yeah, it's April.
4th, I
It's the
think.
second Monday of April anyway. Second Monday evening of April. But we'll come to that. I'll show at the end on the website. But
Yeah,
yeah, so
and before we go into like any of the questions, I also just want to reiterate that we're all psychic. We all have this ability. If, I lived 43 years not understanding this and not believing it. And after all the miracles that I have witnessed in the last 8 years, I can tell you, I just didn't believe that
yes,
I could do these things because I was never shown. And if you're not educated to understand your energy body and your chakras, if you're not educated to understand how your emotions or your body's trying to tell you what needs to be healed or resolved, if you really, have never been shown or told that you're telepathic and you're not going to believe that you are.
no, no, exactly. Um, I just think, I was at the highest spiritual church on Friday night and I was the chairperson next to the medium. And I just think it's so brave of anyone to get up in front of an audience, because some can be there like, I'm not giving you anything. I'm not, and they have to work with that, when they're doing their very best to bring your loved ones through.
Yeah. Yep. In my work, they usually come through. I don't, I'm not the medium that would say I'm here to be an interaction between you and your loved ones. They're going to come through as part of your journey and what's
Hmm.
going on for you.
Hmm.
And they always do. The,
Hmm.
the the loved ones do come through that are there to support, or some of them need to be released into the light, some of them need to be forgiven. They will come through, but you can't control that outcome, and you can't, and if it's not about you and your own healing, they're not going to come through.
No.
If it's it's not entertainment what we're doing here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And
you know
what really annoys me when I run my psychic suppers, and I've got like 10 mediums coming along in April, and you have to say in the introduction, this evening is for entertainment purposes only. That's really terrible. That has to be said now for a psychic, because you wouldn't go into a church, a Christian church
oh
or a Catholic church, and say this service is just for entertainment purposes only. The people that are brave enough to stand up there and help you through your grief are not doing it for entertainment.
No, and thank you for saying that. Yes, because holding space for people, and it is usually when you're working almost every single time when I'm working with someone, it is, lower vibration emotions that we're trying to unleash. So it's fear,
Mhm.
it's guilt, it's shame, it's grief. That's not easy to do. And to hold space for someone else, multiple people, and be able to stay strong and to stay clear and to receive. And the other thing that I think is important to say is, as a healer, I don't believe I'm doing it. I
No,
believe I am showing you how, whether it's through something that we're going to do today and a message that comes through. I'm simply just connected to your higher self and to your team of light, to God, to source. So I have to get out of the way because it's not me.
absolutely. Yeah.
I
That
have just,
amazing we did one together. You offered to do that for me when we first met, and my dad come through, and then that amazing memory come up, and you cleared that for him, cleared it for me. It doesn't feel so emotional as it did.
no, no, or
Mm.
at least now you've released it from your body, your energy body, your emotional body.
Yeah.
And now it's like this, an emotion only has a shelf life of about 90 seconds. And then anything, that comes after is whatever your mind is telling you about the emotion. So if you don't understand where the root source of that grief or whatever it is that, not having boundaries or whatever it is we cleared from you, if it's not released from your emotional body, your physical body, your spiritual body, your biofield, it's just going to get re-triggered and re-triggered and re-triggered and re-triggered. And so the work is really to use all of our stuck emotions, use our situations, our current life, the things going on in our current world as a map, as a roadmap. So what is this trying to tell me? What is this relationship challenge I'm having trying to tell me? Why do I feel so lost? Why do I feel so stuck? And use that as a roadmap. And we
Honestly,
all
it's
have the ability.
amazing. Synchronicities as well that's come up. I mean, this is a simple one yesterday, but still incredible. Well, two recently. One was with Joe Hayes, because I was going over to see him one morning, and I just had a phone call from the Southern equipment place, because they were going to take a shower bar into him or something. And and then I come out of the shop that I was in while I was talking to him, and the only van right in front of me was a that equipment van. But I
Right?
wasn't in the area that I was in, I had to go a few miles to get to Joe. But yeah, and I mean, you think of the thousands of vans, and then was it this morning? Oh, yesterday morning, I spent half an hour designing a card, a Moonpig card for my cousin who's grandparents now. Well, they're grandparents many times over, but grandparents for their daughter for the first time. So I was designing this card for them, and 2 seconds after I'd done it, paid for it, sent it off, and that, Brian Walker, the psychic surgeon, he sent me through a where you could click onto Facebook, all about grandparents,
Oh
all
my
these
God.
funny quotes about grandparents. And you think, well, there's no coincidences, is
Oh, no, 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 no. Yes, and I agree with you. The synchronicities and being open to, because most of the time, if we're not open to it, we just don't even notice the synchronicities. But once you start to notice them,
Mhm.
whether it's number sequences or what you've just shown, or something appearing on your Facebook feed, right after you talk to somebody about that very
Exactly.
thing,
Yes,
and
yes.
yes, some of it is algorithmic.
Of course it is. Yeah, it must
Some of
be.
it,
Yeah.
but some of the things that you just can't, I always say you just can't make this shit up. I
But
just,
honestly, I mean, Brian, that wasn't an algorithm, because Brian just sent me the thing to click onto, and that, yeah. So, I
Mhm.
mean, that definitely was. I'm just getting the inspirations up ready so that I can
Okay.
see if anyone's asking any questions. Um,
Okay, so I have it up here too, but I'm going to get you to modify or moderate the questions because then I can stay connected.
Brilliant. So we've got Marie Fay. Will the romantic? Oh, so shall we go for a question now?
Sure, let's do it.
Okay. I want to
Just
try
going to
and read.
clear my bodies and fields now.
So,
Actually, can we do this first before we go into questions? Maybe you can start fielding the questions. And
yeah,
then if
absolutely.
everybody that's here, if we can do a quick reconnection with your own intuition. I did this last time. Again, I feel it's very, very important for you not to just listen to what I'm saying, but also to confirm it with yourself. So I'm going to give you a really quick truth testing method that you can do for today, and I encourage you to keep doing it. You can ask yes or no to basically anything you have. Okay, so some of you maybe were here or watched the replay and saw me do this before, but I'm going to do it again because I think it's the most important thing that I can leave you with today, even beyond any answers that I give you today. Okay, so you want to do this with me, Jackie? So
Yeah,
we're going to do what's called a sway test. There's lots of ways to do this, but for today, we're going to connect with your higher self through what's called your sway test, or I like to call your body pendulum. You can either be sitting or standing. So if you're sitting to watch this, you're going to ask your body to move a certain way in just a moment for your yes or for your no. But the first thing we're going to do is connect your heart, which is your primary energy center, to your higher self, to your truth, to your intuition. You can do this standing or sitting. So what you're going to do is just sit where you are and then focus in on your heart. You're going to feel your heart and you're going to start to use your breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. I'm sending some energy to help you with this. Maybe do it 1 or 2, 3 times until you really feel the frequency of your heart. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And by the third or fourth breath, you should really start to kind of feel the heart center. Just take notice of whatever feels tense or tight. Using the breath in to bring in light and the breath out to release any debris, distractions, emotions. Good. Now you're going to imagine that there's a little ball of light in your heart, and you're going to keep using your breath, and you're going to grow it bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Keep breathing until you've surrounded yourself in a vortex of light. You have just created your own vortex. And this vortex of light you can recreate multiple times a day, and I encourage you to do it. And then bring your attention back to your heart. And then you're going to imagine a little light elevator, and you're going to travel with your breath and intention all the way up this light elevator, out the top of your crown, all the way up through your higher chakras until you reach your higher self. And then breathe, just the way that you did when you were tuning into your heart. You may perceive a great sun, you may perceive a big light, you may perceive colors. You may need to use a little bit of your imagination at the beginning, or maybe you just feel that connection. Finding that breath in there to really connect in with that energy, which is you, your higher self, your soul, and directly connected to God, source. And then you're going to ask this version of you, or this frequency and this energy, to come back down the elevator using your breath and intention, all the way back down into your heart. Go all the way down the elevator to your feet. Connect your feet into Mother Earth to ground it in. Feeling that connection below your feet. If you're lying down, it works the same way. Just feeling that safety. If you're lying down, feeling the room, feeling the bed, the chair, and then come all the way back up and into your heart where you began. And breathe. And now just take a snapshot of how your body feels after doing that exercise. You should feel a little bit lighter. You should have maybe come across some sort of tightness in your body that maybe needs a little bit of attention. And now you're going to come back into the room. So you're going to do that. I recommend doing this every single day, once or twice a day. I do it all the time. And the most important thing that you can do is now understand that you are connected with your higher self, and your higher self is connected with all your guides. So they will all come in today or any day to help you. Now we're going to quickly show you the truth test, and I recommend that you do this with everything I say here today or anything else that we were discussing. Okay. All right. So then what you're going to do if you're sitting, now that you know you're connected to your higher self through your heart center, you're just going to ask your body, please show me my yes, and please show me my no. Very simple. Your yes may be so my yes is a back and forth like this when I'm sitting. When I'm standing, it's a straight back. Everyone's is different. So you're just going to close your eyes and go back into your heart center, and you're going to say, okay, please show me my yes. You could feel it as a magnetic pull in a certain direction. You could feel it as goosebumps. You could feel it as cold in certain parts of your body. Most of us kind of move a certain way, but if you don't move, it's also your higher self saying, hey, let's tune into some of these other clairs you have. You
I
might
mean, I'm
see.
so used to doing that now. I just know that it's the forward. I felt the magnet pull me forward,
Right.
yeah.
Right. So everybody should be practicing this, especially those who are going to ask questions. And not only those who are going to ask questions, but even if you're on the replay here, you can go through these questions. There might be something here for you too. There usually is. If I'm
Yeah.
answering someone else's question, there's usually something for you. So I encourage you to ask your body, is this related to me? Is there something here for me? Yes or no? So then what you're going to do is tune back into your heart. And then you're going to ask your body or other senses, please show me my no. And when I'm sitting, my no is like a little circle.
I know
Like,
mine's a back, and I
yeah,
felt the pull
yeah,
back.
yeah. So you can also say, you could also even just say, is this truth? And then that would be your yes or your no, right? So there's lots of different ways to do it. If you're doing it standing up, you'll likely find a big push,
Yeah, definitely stood up.
Yeah.
I find it much more.
Yes, me too. So please go ahead, no matter what questions I answer today or I answer for someone else, take the time right now with this truth testing. Just let us know in the comments too if this is working for you. Um, Most people, I will say, when they can't really get it, it's because there's usually either an energetic block, so your chakras are, locked or stuck and your energy's not moving, and or your ego or your mind are not allowing you to just trust. Mhm. Okay, so just let us know if this is working for you and if you have any other questions, and then we'll move into some of the questions. So please use the truth testing as we move into these questions, whether I'm answering a question for you specifically or if this is also could be related to you.
Now I've got questions already. I took a slideshot. So the first one was from Marie. Will the romantic relationship I call in be of light worker frequency like myself?
Yeah.
Will the romantic relationship I call in be of light worker frequency like myself?
Mm. Well, the first thing that came to my mind is if your frequency is at the frequency of the person you're calling in, and you are of that light worker frequency, then they will be as well. I'm getting to keep going on this. This doesn't mean that the person that you're calling in is at the same is at the same level at the same time. So oftentimes we need to be a little bit more patient, because oftentimes, we're at different stages. And that's what I'm kind of getting here. They're telling me to keep going. This is your higher self. Excuse me. And now I'm getting something to do with my throat chakra, and that's not my cold, because I'm going to check right now. So what's her name? Marie?
Marie, yeah, Marie Fay.
So Marie, there's specific to the question, I'm going to come back to it, but there's something happening related to the question with your throat chakra right now. It's really, really tight. It's really tight, your throat chakra. And so your throat chakra has to do with either speaking but not being heard, or not speaking your truth, or feeling like you don't have the power to speak your truth, or you should speak your truth, or that which you're saying and not really expressing. So there's something happening in your throat chakra right now that is related to this question. So I'm getting a yes on all of this, and we're sending a little bit of healing into your throat chakra right now. So let's just repair that right now, the throat chakra. Just imagine your throat chakra being stuck like this. And then I'm going to use my pendulum to show you what the pendulum will show you what it's doing. So just imagine unlocking it like a rubber ball, like this. Okay, and then I'm going to get you to replace that throat chakra with a new version. So we're upgrading the program here. Okay, good. And then you're going to open that throat chakra up. And then right now we're just sending, and anyone can do this right now with any one of their chakras. But if you are getting with your truth testing that your throat chakra is blocked and it has something to do specifically with Marie's question. Okay, good. So that has been opened now. Okay, and now I'm gonna and now I'm getting a word now that we've opened that up. So that has something to do with you speaking it but not believing it, I think. Is what I'm getting. You're speaking it, you're calling your partner in, you're calling your the relationship in, but for some reason I don't think you believe it. And I'm getting a keep going on that. So this is related to some sort of challenge in your relationships in the past that you still don't actually believe it. You haven't got there yet. Okay. And what that means is your frequency also has to be at the frequency of the person that's calling you in. And so I think this has something to do with confidence and really using your voice and believing your own voice. I think this has to do with you. So as we start to heal ourselves, our own patterns, our own beliefs, our energy centers, our emotions, we then rise in frequency, and then we attract the people in our lives, the romantic partners, all of it to us. So the most important thing that you can do is to really look at what we've said here today, truth test this. It's Marie, right?
Marie.
Can we just ask Marie to post if this is resonating with her? It has something to do with you speaking it, manifesting it, but not actually believing it. Okay, and specifically a block in your throat chakra. And the throat chakra block could come from you not being able to speak your truth in past relationships, or trying to manifest something in the past and not receiving it. So now you really don't believe it. So just let us know if this is making any sense. So there is a timeline to answer your question simply. There is absolutely a timeline where you call in exactly who is meant to come in for you. But you need to do the work so that you raise your frequency enough to match theirs and vice versa. She says that makes sense. Good. Okay, so we have just upgraded your throat chakra, and anybody who did this exercise. So a couple of things you could do. You could ask the question using your new body pendulum, Marie, too. You can just ask your body, is what Alicia is saying correct about my throat chakra, and actually believing, that
Yes,
I
it
can.
makes sense. She's saying yes. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So just use your body pendulums, everybody, to, if anyone else is resonating with this as well, just use your own truth test to see if what I'm saying is accurate.
Okay. Thank you. Can I tell you this one? Because I think this was the first one and I missed it.
Okay, yes.
Okay, thank you for that. Cherry, this is.
Cherry.
Guilt and self-blame. I think it goes back 13 years ago. I had 6 cats within 5-month period. 3 of them became ill. Excuse me, and I had to have them put to sleep. 5 years later, I had chemo, and a couple of weeks later, one of them was diagnosed with cancer. Then another, and then my last little girl, all within 1 year. Unrelated cats, different cancers. I know generally feeling of guilt and blame for most of my decisions goes around in my head 24/7, and I live on my own.
Oh, Cherry, I'm sorry to hear that. And I am a cat lover myself, so I can imagine how you feel. And however, first of all, I'm going to let you know, I'm just tuning in right now. If you're open to it, so you must agree to it. So yeah, any energy healing I send you, again, you just have to agree to it. But right now, if you agree to this, there are some dark custodians and seals that have been placed on you by others. Could be other energy, it could be other people that are keeping you stuck, stagnant in your growth and keeping you stuck in the guilt and the shame. So that's the first level, the first layer. So if you agree to receive this, you can say it in your mind, I agree to receive it. We're just going to remove these dark custodians and seals. Seals can be like blocks in your development. They can be blocks in certain chakras. They can be they can mask or cover unresolved emotions. Okay, good. So that's just being lifted from you now, and I'm also bringing in a violet flame for you. And it's just clearing from the top, your higher chakras. You really need some love and attention on your energy body as well as your emotional body, because a lot of these emotions, it works like this. So you can see my pendulum doing this circle counterclockwise. It's coming down through all of your chakras right now. And you just need to breathe while I do this, because it's kind of going to unlock any of those stuck emotions. And remember what I said earlier about emotions, even guilt and even shame. They only have a 90-minute shelf life. So your mind is creating the stories now as to why you feel guilt and shame. Your mind is creating the story. Keep breathing. Got stuck a little bit down there. Your oh, and your throat chakra. There's a lot going on here, Cherry. It's a lot going on. But I want to say specifically that this guilt and shame is not specifically related to just the cats. It's your mind that is keeping you stuck in that loop, okay, about the cats and you not being able to care for them properly. And not only that, and I'm sure you've heard this before, but I'm going to tell you again, that cats are extremely psychic, extremely telepathic. And they are also absorbing our energy for us. And that is their gift to us. They are beautiful, loving companions. They're protectors. And they also help us transmute. And so that's what they were brought into your life for at the time. And when animals, even people, pass, and it's hard to talk about this, but it shouldn't be, they're transitioning. So their work was done. And the cats are actually coming in right now. I think they're all here and getting a yes. And their wish really is for you to really release this guilt and shame completely, because this guilt and shame is actually coming up to show you it wasn't about the cats. It was from before. The guilt and shame is way deeper than that. It's just that your mind has created the story that you're carrying this deep guilt and shame. They don't want you to. They came here to assist you lovingly. And it was their time to transition. And they wanted to. And they're still with you, just not in physical form. And then now, along with that, so where I'm feeling your guilt and shame most, Cherry, is right here, which is your kind of higher heart chakra. So the first thing that you could do is tune into and just ask your body pendulum. Don't take it from me. Ask your body pendulum. Are these the cats? Are these souls of these cats here with me right now, confirming this? Ask your body pendulum, Cherry, because your higher self will tell you that I am correct. Okay? And that the guilt and shame is literally, if you take the emotion out of the emotion and you look at the guilt, you put it over here, and you look at the shame and you put it over here, and you say, hello, guilt. I see you. I see what you're doing. I feel you. And then breathe. Okay, I feel where you are in my body. Take even a minute and say, thank you, body. Thank you for showing me that I'm still feeling this guilt. And I'm getting a little body buzz everywhere. So this exercise is really good for you right now, Cherry, and probably others. So identify where you're feeling that guilt in your body. Close your eyes, keep them open. Feel, where's the guilt in your body? Someone's feeling it in their back too, middle back. I can feel that there. Some of you might feel it on your shoulders. A lot of people feel guilt here and shame here. Could present as a headache, but Cherry, you're feeling it right here. So then I want you to say, because remember, that was just a story you were telling yourself, okay? And there was a seal on that guilt so that you didn't figure out that it needed to be removed. So then you're going to say, hello, guilt. I feel you. Thank you for showing me you're still here. Thank you. But I don't need you anymore. You're going to breathe while you do this. Okay, if it's in the middle back or the chest, wherever it is, just breathe. Breathe in light and breathe out guilt. Let it out. Let it out. Okay? And if you need to do that a couple of times, do it a couple of times. Keeping in mind and remembering that the guilt you're feeling is just an emotion. It's an energy. It's a frequency. And that emotion was not released, but it happened. That guilt came before the cats. And so even honoring their mission with you would be to be an appreciation and gratitude for them being with you, to show you that these emotions were still here and to help you transmute them, because they're here right now and they're doing it again. And then so you're going to, as you feel that kind of releasing and breathing, you will feel wherever you were feeling the guilt, you will feel it relax. You will feel it kind of leave. So Annette says it's in her middle back. That's what I was probably
You've
feeling.
seen that. Yeah, I was going to say Annette's feeling it in the middle back.
Yeah. So it's really important to identify the emotion as an almost putting it over here and remembering or realizing and taking the moment to say, okay, maybe is that story about the cats, is that really why I feel guilt and shame? It's perpetuating it, it's keeping it here. Okay, but it's not actually the reason. And so without really going into the source of this, although I can quickly ask, is it this lifetime? Okay, for you, it's not, Jerry. Is this ancestral? Keep going. Is this past lifetime? This is related to something in your past lifetime, Cherry, that's being re-triggered. So it must have something to do with guilt and shame and loss and isolation and punishing yourself from a past lifetime. So it's not even related to this lifetime. So you see, when you really tune into the why and the what is, and you actually look at the emotion as a frequency and that's it, let your mind erase the story. Erase the story. What is this guilt? I feel it. And you all did. Whoever's doing this, you felt it. You felt where that guilt was. And then now you're going to breathe. And is it feeling any better? And if it's not, we're going to go to the shame next. I'm sure these are emotions that we all have or have felt. So now tune into the shame. Hello, shame. Thank you for showing up here again. You can even thank the beautiful cats that helped you get here, because that's what they were here for. They're
Really
helping you.
feel that. I really feel that
They're
is
helping you
true.
transmute it now,
Mm-hmm.
because there is no linear time. So them being here right now, they are actually still helping you transmute the shame and the guilt. And now you know that that shame and the guilt is actually not even tied to anything in this lifetime. So then you're going to say, hello, shame. I see you. I feel you. I know you're still here. And then breathe, close your eyes. Where do I feel shame in my body? Where do you feel shame in your body? Close your eyes. Take a breath. Just ask your body to show you. It will. Oh, I think she feels the shame in her throat. That's why I had the cough. Okay, so you can truth test that too. But the shame I'm getting for Cherry is in her throat. So she's not speaking her truth or listening to her own truth. And that's what I'm feeling is here. Okay. So you might feel shame in another place in your body. You can truth test that. Do I feel shame here? You can ask, is this shame even mine? Ask your body, is it even mine? And another, there's part of the shame for Cherry that's not even hers. I'm getting a no on the shame. So it's not even yours. Yeah. Okay. And now you're going to release the shame and the emotion with your breath. Same way we did before. And there you go. So keep doing this. Keep identifying where these emotions are coming from, and everybody who's listening can use this. Oh, you're muted, Jackie.
Sorry, thank you. We've got a few more questions now. So that
Okay.
was brilliant for Cherry. Thank you. And Cherry, you know Ho'oponopono. I know Cherry knows that. And I really hope that's starting to help her as well. Willow is saying, what is the pain in my body that comes and goes, please? Tried to clear it many ways, but getting nowhere. So this
Okay.
is Willow.
Okay. Can Willow just put where she feels the pain in her body specifically, or if it's everywhere? Just really simply, if it's is it more like an acute pain, more of a if she can just kind of describe where it is right now while we're waiting for that. My pendulum is sending energy right now, energy healing. So Willow, just ask to agree to receive it if you'd like to receive this healing energy. It's golden light and green light coming in right now. And if we could just get sort of, I can tune in without the answer, but it would really help me to know exactly where or what the pain is, because it's going to give us another clue as to what's going on, what it's trying to tell you.
Everywhere it moves around.
Everywhere moves around. Okay. So I'm going to tune into that right now. Okay, there's something to related to a virus also. Okay, I am getting there's multiple reasons for it, but one of them is definitely EBV, or the Epstein-Barr virus. It actually, if you look into this further, I did this as I was going through my awakening. I had a lot of body aches, pain, migraines, all the things, and I started to dig in. But I am getting the physical nature of the pain is something to do with activated EBV, or Epstein-Barr virus. We all pretty much have it.
Yes, do.
And it causes things like Hashimoto, fibromyalgia. It attacks, what it does is it goes into, it comes as mono, usually, as its first sort of, unleashing in your body. And then it goes dormant and it comes back again, and it attacks your thyroid, your liver, throughout your life. And it's triggered by stress. And it actually affects women more than men, because we also have monthly stress, right? And childbirth and menopause. And so there's a lot more triggers with women. And so you'll find that a lot more women are presenting with fibromyalgia and Hashimoto's. So you can truth test this, but I am getting that from a physical standpoint, you're definitely dealing with activated EBV, or Epstein-Barr virus. And it is affecting your thyroid. No, it has affected your liver, but not as much right now. And so you can look up Anthony William Medical Medium Protocol. That's what I use, and I recommend people look at. You can, he has a protocol to actually remove it or put it into dormancy. You can also say, now that you know it, because knowledge is power. Okay, so then you can actually say, I do not consent to this virus, EBV, or any other virus to be active in my body. I command that it is now dormant or removed permanently across all space, time, lifetimes, dimensions, and universes, and from my physical body, it is done. Thank you. Breathing, really anchoring in that command, okay? And try that a couple of days today and a couple of more days. Okay. There's more to it. I'm just going to ask what the primary reason for the body aches is. Is it physical? No. So the primary reason for the body aches is not physical. Is it emotional? Is it energetic? Is it spiritual? Primary reason though, my friend, is spiritual. So it's all four. It's spiritual, energetic, emotional, and then manifesting into physical. Okay. So if it's spiritual, it means that it's likely a psychic attack. So this is what you do for that. Okay. And this is, we all have the ability to clear ourselves. This is called clearing. Okay. So psychic attacks can look like body aches, acute pain. This actually makes sense now, Willow, because your pain moves. Okay. So any type of dark energy or spiritual or psychic attack could present as headaches out of nowhere, fatigue out of nowhere, body aches or pain, chronic illnesses, or acute. Okay. So what you're going to do now is you're going to say, specifically, take your power back. I know what you are now. I feel you. You're going to say, thank you, body, for letting me know this frequency, this energy is here. Body, I appreciate you. Thank you. And then you're going to say to the entity or low vibrational being, I know what you are now, and I know what you're doing. And I'm helping you to clear it right now. Okay. But you're going to say, I no longer consent. I break all contracts and agreements, vows, and promises with you now on behalf of myself and any other human you are affecting. I command these contracts are broken across all space, all time, all lifetimes, all dimensions, and all universes. And I remove any and all spell casting, cursing, or black magic that you are placing on me or others. It is done. I command you, leave my bodies and fields now and return to source. And then breathe. You can actually just sort of do that's what I like to do, like really blow it out, like get out of my body. You're done here. You're done here. Okay. And breathe that out. You might have to do the same exercise a couple of times. The key is not to get afraid or feel fear about this, thanking your body for showing you in the pain, and that probably is what has triggered the EBV as well, because viruses are triggered by dark energy as well to keep us in a low vibration. Okay. So the emotional side of it I'm getting is frustration, irritability, overwhelm because you're always in pain. But once you start to understand that you can clear this and you could do this daily, if you're experiencing pain, say, oh, I feel you. Okay. I know you're still here. No, no, no more. Okay. So regular clearing like that is mission critical, but I've seen this so many times. The symptoms can literally just disappear like that. Knowledge is power. And I'm always going to be teaching you how to do this yourself. And let us know, Willow, if that actually shifts it a little bit.
Wonderful. Thanks, Alicia. So we got two more questions. I'll just take two more questions, which is from Kimberly and one from Annette. And then you want to share some bits that you've got coming up. Yeah. Thank you. So, and I'll look back to see if Willow's answered that. Kimberly, I have a brain tumor, benign. Just wondering if you could help me with anything that comes up to clear.
Okay.
Kimberly.
Oh, well, first of all, your team, they're just telling me right now, ooh, I'm releasing something on your behalf. That's what it's not glamorous all the time, Jackie, but the burping sometimes is a release. So it's not me again. I'm just your higher self, your team of light is showing me that you're releasing something as we speak right now. Okay. That has something to do with the benign tumor. And we're not going to say I have anymore. We're going to say I'm healing. Okay. So there's something being basically released. Now I'm going to tune into the why. Keep going. Okay. Is it, I keep hearing vagus nerve in the back. I keep hearing the term vagus nerve. Our vagus nerves are back here, and they are very higher, they're higher dimensional. And it's I'm getting that the tumor itself is blocking the development or the opening or the upgrade of the vagus nerve is what I'm getting. And I am getting that we can heal this, which will then shrink that benign tumor. That's a big ask, but that's what your team is saying to me right now. Okay, which means you can do this, okay? And then we're just going to listen to them now and ask if it has anything. Okay, it's also related to a miasm, which is something that is passed down through generations. So the miasm is the brain tumor itself, is the tumor itself. Is it related to the vagus nerve? Okay, so this miasm's related to this block on your vagus nerve back here, and you can look up what a vagus nerve is. Okay, and the miasm, so this could, a miasm is something like diabetes or blood pressure or some cancers, okay? And they originate in our ancestral lineage, just like science would tell you, you've got breast cancer in your family, could be a miasm. So I'm getting this as a miasm specifically, and we can clear it. And it's also coming up so that you can clear it. So I'm going to ask what it is. It's mother's side. This miasm is coming from the mother's side. So mom herself, not mom, mom's mom, mom's mom. Further back? No. Oh, keep going. Mom's mom. Mom's mom's lineage? Yes. Mom's mom's lineage. Okay. How many generations back? 1, 2, 3 generations back. Okay. And this has to do with, again, your vagus nerve, which is, a key portal in your physical body to your higher dimensional abilities and gifts. So I'm getting there was a block there 3 generations back on your mom's side. And so if anyone else had any tumors, this would be why. But they might not present as the same thing as you're getting, but it's a block to your vagus nerve. So I'm just going to ask now if there's anything that your team can do right now. Keep going. And I'm getting we can actually clear the miasm. Okay. So you will still need to heal any physical manifestations, that will come. But this will stop it. This will stop the miasm. Okay, so and just you can just ask her too if any of this is resonating, if there's been anything sort of like this in her family that she knows of. But it would be related to the head, okay? And it would be related to basically the full activation of the vagus nerve. Okay, so then what you're going to do to just clear the root of this miasm is you're just going to, you can close your eyes with me. And you might know who this is 3 generations back. But it has something to do with closing off higher dimensional abilities, not wanting to see, not wanting to know, out of extreme fear. So I'm also seeing fire. So I don't know if there was a fire that this person saw or maybe saw coming, or was very traumatized by, but this is what I'm seeing. And it's also affected your third eye, which again is in the crown region. So this is all related. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go back for that version, that version of your ancestor. Okay. And we're just going to take her. Oh, I see a big fire. So that's where she is. So we're going to take her away from the fire. We're going to tell her now that you came back for her and that she is safe. I'm getting that she perceived this. She had a premonition that this fire would happen. And then couldn't do anything about it, and then didn't want to see it ever again. And she was so terrified by this that she shut herself down. And she's carried this trauma, or it's been carried on through your lineage, through your mother's side. Okay, so now you're going to tell her she's safe now. Is she in the light? Oh, she's asking us if we can help send any of her the others that are with her into the light, which we can absolutely do. She says, thank you for coming back for me. So she would have been your great, great, great grandmother. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're just going to create a portal right now. We're going to call forward any other souls that wish to be released now. There's quite a few of them. Usually they kind of they collect together. Okay, and she says we're ready now, and then we're going to create a vortex of light, and we're going to send them through back to source with love. And I always ask Mother Mary's energy to come in when we're sending souls to the light. We're just going to send them through with love, releasing them from all of the burdens. And she says, thank you. Still going. I think now we're into clearing your lineage backwards and forwards of this miasm. There we go. And we are complete. So the miasm might have presented in her family lineage as this benign brain tumor. It might be migraines. It might be, other sort of trauma around the head. But that's where it comes from. Okay. And now we've completely released and cut cords with anything that would be causing it. And the dark custodians and seals that were keeping you stuck have been removed. Okay. And then your team of light is asking me to tell you also to just have them come in, invite them in on a daily basis right now, bringing ultraviolet white light to the physical place in the head where that benign physical tumor is. And they will help you dissolve it and heal it for good. Okay, and there we go. I hope that helps. Truth test that. Again, make sure, it's not what I say. You got to make sure that this is resonating for you, because your truth and your proof is the only thing that matters. You're the one that did this. I just helped you.
Amazing. That was a big one.
It was really big. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know
I
if it's
felt
her.
that.
Someone's got something in their back. Middle
It
back.
might be Annette in the next question, because she's saying that something was in her back. And the next, or the final question tonight is, have I cleared the ties with my ex? Was it a twin flame connection?
Is this
So
Annette?
Annette is saying, have I cleared the ties with my ex? Was it a twin flame connection? And
Okay.
this was Annette that said earlier about she's got the pain in her back.
Oh, okay. Because I started feeling it right as soon as I was done that. Yeah. Yeah, it's quite a long one. Okay. Okay, so first of all, to answer your question, no, you haven't cleared them properly yet. Okay. This has something to, is this lifetime? Going. So something to do with someone stabbing you in the back is what I'm getting. And that is it him? Oh, it is him. Okay. So he must have done something to stab you in the back, I'm assuming. And there's still sort of an energetic imprint of that needs to be removed. Okay, is there anything else I need to know about that? So go ahead, Annette, and let me know if this is resonating with you, but I can feel it really strongly in my back. And it's a cord now too. It's a very strong cord. Okay, it's like very thick. Is it coming from past lifetimes? It's coming from past lifetimes too. So there's a specific past lifetime. Is the past lifetime with him where this cord started? Yes. And is it related to him stabbing her in the back? No. No, the cord started in the past lifetime, but the pain that what I'm feeling in the back right now is related to something he's did or is doing that is stabbing you in the back.
He's saying, yes, I can feel it.
Okay, because it's quite acute. I can feel it. So we need to kind of dissolve that rope now, okay? So I also get that it's coming from a past life promise. Was he a twin flame like? Yeah, and he was a twin flame like connection. And I want to talk about twin flames really quickly because I think it's really important. They get very romanticized. A flame connection is usually not great. It's usually very dramatic, and you're coming into this lifetime together with that connection and that agreement to level each other up really fast. Okay, so you can thank him for that. You can thank him. Thank you for showing me. Thank you for showing me what I needed to learn. Okay. And then you're going to say, I no longer consent. And I break this cord of attachment and any cords of attachment that I have with you across all space, all time, all lifetimes, all dimensions, and all universes. I forgive you. Please forgive me. I know you were doing the best that you could, and I was too. And I thank you for teaching me this lesson. But I command now that any other cords are dissolved permanently. It is done. Thank you. And then take a deep, deep, deep breath. And imagine dissolving that cord from your back or cutting it or having Archangel Michael cut it. It just does or disappears, it dissolves, release it, and then just feel the energy on your back, which should start to heal that imprint that's on the back. Okay, and they're putting a layer of obsidian on your back that's just going to help for any other sort of energetic attacks, related to stabbing you in the back. So there's like a block there now. Okay. Is there anything else that needs to be done? Yes. Okay, and I'm feeling, for some reason, the word guilt just came to my mind, and I feel like you have guilt still unresolved related to him as well. I feel like there is still guilt. And I'm getting that the guilt is not yours. And I'm also getting that there's still some grief about the loss of the connection with him. But I am getting that it is absolutely the right thing for you to do. And what we just did now should actually break, as long as you actually made the intention to do it, because sometimes we don't, even though we go through it. Okay, I'm not doing it for you. I just showed you how to do it. So if you're still feeling that sort of pain in your back, then it's still there. And you can even ask yourself using your body pendulum right now, did I remove this cord or these cords? And did I remove that major one, the big rope in the back? And then I always say this, and I know you do too, Jackie, but if you can identify how he was your mirror and how he showed you how to level up and heal, maybe it was codependency, maybe it was, she's not feeling it now. Good. So it's gone. Yeah. And it's leaving me too. Yeah. So this is how powerful this work is. This is how powerful our emotions are. It can actually, and remember, your body was always, your bodies were just showing you where you needed release. That's all, and you did it. And so if any of these sort of pains come back, you got to ask again, because there's other layers in the tree ring where, these low vibration emotions are, there's a lot of layers to them, especially fear and guilt and shame. And this is the human condition that we're trying to rewrite, right? Yeah. And we write it through forgiveness. Oh, she got the shivers of truth now. Good. Thank you. I'm glad. I'm so glad for you.
That is amazing. Thank you again. What you did the other week, I mean, and the few people that come and saw you afterwards, for one of your appointments, the feedback from them to me has been amazing. So yeah, really wonderful what you do, Alicia.
Oh, Kimberly just said, I knew it was something with my vagus nerve.
Yes, yes, I
Yeah.
love that.
Amazing. Good. Someone's just having a lot of pressure in the third eye, so I'm sure it's not just one person. So, because all of a sudden I'm getting this like vice in my head. So if you would like, I'm going to go ahead and clear some of this pressure from my head, and you can ask to clear your own, okay? Sometimes this happens as well when you're getting an activation or when you're coming down from a higher dimension very fast, okay? But you might as well do this with me and sort of clear any of that frequency out. So just take a deep breath if you are feeling this. And come back into your heart again, remembering we connected ourselves to begin all of this. So maybe you want to call back now all of your energy, and I'm going to call back all mine, and everybody can do that. Pressure in the head, Sally says. Okay, so just follow this exercise. Call back all your soul fractals. Call back all your energy right now from wherever it is we traveled together today. Might be your past, might be worrying in the future, it might be a past life. Just call them all back here, right now. Breathe into your heart. You'll start to feel it dissipating now. I'm starting to feel it dissipating. And then feel your feet again. Really important to feel the feet against the earth, or even if you're lying down, just imagine. Now tether some roots from your feet all the way down into earth. Keep breathing as you do this, because you also need to let your body know that she's safe or he's safe. And then light up your roots like a Christmas tree. Light them up. Keep breathing. And just really feel the safety of being back here in your body, in the now moment, with all of your energy right back here. And then I'm going to ask on all of our behalf to close any and all portals, wormholes or gateways or vortexes or timeline leaks that were being used for dark. And I'm going to ask them to be now closed permanently across all time and space and universes. And if any need to be remained open, that they are reclaimed only to the light. Thank you. And I'm going to ask for anyone involved here that is ready to release karmic loops or patterns or emotions or debt, that they be dissolved now, that this karma be dissolved now. Any karmic debt that any of these souls who are listening now or at any other time, if they're ready to release this, I ask this to be done now permanently. Thank you. It is done. And with so much love and gratitude. And so it is. And then come back into your heart, into your body. And you should just sort of feel your body feeling a little bit lighter. If you did any of this work with us, you will feel some shifts.
I'm muted. No. Wow. Powerful.
Yeah, grounding and gratitude at the end of any type of tuning in or healing is just so important.
So
So
important. Absolutely.
yeah.
Wonderful. Awake and Inspired. You can find Alicia, Awake and Inspired. Your website is called Awake and Inspired as well, isn't it?
Yes, and I'm offering right now to your audience a special 111 rate US for one of my sessions. I would love to meet some more of you. It's been a pleasure so far. I've loved everyone I've worked with. I think some of them are here. I'm in so much gratitude to be welcomed into your community. Thank you, Jackie. Oh, and I'm also doing a masterclass tomorrow. I'm also
Yes, you
doing
were going to
I
talk about that.
forgot about
Yes.
that. Yeah. I'm doing a masterclass on releasing emotions with a dear friend and colleague of mine, a master hypnotist. And we are going to be working through how to actually identify emotions, what they are. Once we demystify all of this, it's easy, to start to do the techniques that we did here today. And then we're also going to move you through a guided hypnosis to actually release the emotions. And you will also get the replay of the meditation on its own, the hypnosis and meditation, and also some takeaway materials on how to release emotions. So those are the two ways right now. And I'd love to see some of you. It would
Time
be
would
great.
that be, Alicia?
Oh, yes. Sorry. Thank you. 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So I think that's about 7-ish or no, 9.
9 o'clock? 9 o'clock here. Yeah,
Yeah, so
in the
it'll go about
evening.
an hour and a half, give or take. And there'll be time for questions and all of those things. Yes.
Okay. And you find that on Awake and Inspired, the details of
Yes.
that. But I'm going to just share screen now for our event. which is why is it such a good thing to do shadow work? And this is a conscious cafe evening on the 14th of April, starting at 7 o'clock. Oh, that says British summertime, but oh yeah, no, I think we'll be in Greenwich Mean Time then, yeah. But anyway, it's UK time. I'll change that. So yeah, Conscious Cafe event, when you start understanding the emotional ups and downs your experience, even though you seem to come from nowhere, you take the first step towards healing and growth. Anyway, it's about our shadow side, and it is important to look at our shadow side, to understand that, because it's part of us, and not to bury it down. So you'll be in the Zoom room with us. £7 is the cost of the ticket for an hour and a half. And we'd love to see you there, because obviously in the Zoom room, you've got an opportunity. We will all have a voice. You'll listen to what Alicia and I are talking about on the first part of the shadow work. And then you'll go into a breakout room if you want to talk to each other, you know, or just listen to what others are saying, because it always brings stuff up for you that you love to share, and it's confidential in the room you're in. But if you want to come back and share anything with us, ask any questions. So it's a lovely evening. Yeah.
And Jackie, I just want to say how grateful I am that I've come back home with you
Yeah.
and you're this beautiful community, and I'm just very grateful. So thank you for having me.
Brilliant. Thank you, Alicia. And no doubt we'll see you again soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks, anyone watching.
Bye for now.